Welcome to the Daily Jerry Anderson podcast, where the presenter once again finds a roundabout way of talking about famous people that he does not know. He yearns for celebrity, but fears that it may be beyond his grasp. Maybe it's too late.
Say, for instance, when you were a big show band star,
Yes.
right, and you would come into a pub, right,
Yes.
and everybody would look at you, and all heads would turn, and say,
Yes,
"Look,
they
who's
would.
just walked in. Jerry Anderson's just walked in. Look.
Look at how young he looks.
You see all
Yeah.
that. You see,
Yeah.
and then you would say the guys in the band would see you. You see, and there'd be a bit of eye contact with, say, one of the singer or the guitar player, and he would motion to you, like...
Motion to me?
But are you coming up? Do you want to... You know how you guys talk to one another without talking, you just...
The old sign language.
Yes.
The old private language, yeah.
Yes, you see.
You used to speak an egg language. You ever do the egg language?
Yeah, I know that.
Come egg on egg over and say me, Miggy.
Aye,
Yeah.
I know that. Right, anyway.
Do people know that out there?
I don't think so. It's just...
Gay good meg on shake on.
It's just unique.
Good morning, Sean.
Yes, I know.
Make I name is J. Gary Jake Andrews and he goes on. Do people know how to do that? People don't know how to do that.
People
It's a lost art. Give me a sentence and I'll do it. It says to me, I spoke to you in your programme.
I speak ook to
I spoke to you and you prego. I'm a wee bit slow on it.
Yes, I know.
I spoke to you and you
And I said to the gentleman,
Yes.
that if Jerry Anderson said, "I'm not coming up for a song, don't call me."
Yeah.
And you didn't call Jerry Anderson. Jerry Anderson respected you. But if you called Jerry Anderson for a song, then he hated you. And the artist hated being called up to the stage after being told, "I don't want to sing."
Yeah, you hate the people until the day you die. Yes.
The guys who call you up, they're just tubes.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you spot a tube.
So that man there was telling me that Luke Kelly came into a gig that he was playing at. And word came back to them that Luke didn't want to sing. So they didn't call Luke. And the next thing was, Luke Kelly appeared at the side of the stage to congratulate that man who's writing to you now on a song that he sang. Luke said, "You handled that very well."
Yes.
And Luke said to him, "Do you mind if I do one with you?" And Luke Kelly came up on the stage, invited himself onto the stage, and they sang a duet. So I said, well, that was a nice thing for Luke Kelly to do, and I'm sure you appreciate it. And I said, what a great honour for Luke Kelly to ask you.
Is this going anywhere?
No. But then that man went on to tell me about famous people that he met. And for every famous person that he met, I matched him.
In other words, he would say, Des O'Connor, and you would up him Mr. Pastry.
I upped him Lonnie Donegan.
And then he would counter with an Engelbert Humperdinck.
Yes.
And he would say, I see you with Lonnie Donegan. No, you've done that already. I see you with a Tom Jones.
Or a Sandy Tong.
And then you'd throw in your hand. That would be what?
Oh, no.
George Harrison.
I beat him with George Harrison.
The presenter is now challenged as to why a man should offer him money in a car park. But first, another catalogue of B-list celebrities. I have met Brendan Boyer of the Royal Show Band. And I've met Jerry Adams and Martin McGuinness. Pleased to meet you. I also met the late Cardinal Cook of New York. Hello, Cardinal. I also met J.G. Devlin. Hello, how you doing? Will you sit down and take a Gila Barnbrack and a bowl of brochen? And Joseph Tomalty. Oh, Joseph. Hello, Derek the window cleaner. How are you doing today? He also appeared in Darby O'Gill and the Little People. What was the most famous man who appeared in that movie, Darby O'Gill and the Little People, before he was famous?
Sean Connery.
Exactly. You see, we're not slow. Joseph Tomalty's daughter, Frances, who was married to Sting, and she was Mrs. Sting. Leela Webster was my singing. Hello, how are you doing? She was my singing teacher. You can find a plaque to Leela on the pavement outside the Grand Opera House. I also met President Mary McAleese. Pleased to meet you. And I'm sure I've left out many more. The enclosed CD is of myself, made this year. I am now 76, so don't expect too much. I hope you enjoy it. My wife and I enjoy your programme. This is for you, of course. Have you got a CD of that man?
I have indeed.
Oh, yeah. P.S. I also met Jerry Anderson. He was outside the Hilton Hotel in Belfast one afternoon, and he found himself short of money to get his... to get his car out of the car park. I offered to make the payment, but he declined my offer. I wonder if he remembers the incident. It was about 5 years ago, just before the Hilton closed its swimming pool.
Is that true? It must be true.
Is what true?
That man offered you money?
Yes. But I don't...
And you said no?
I don't...
Emma's surprised that you said no.
I don't take money from men who approach me in car parks. No. I'll tell you, I remember that incident particularly well. And I remember that man now, actually, because I remember... Do you know the way you were standing there? And why would I need money for a Hilton. Isn't that a ticket? Anyway, whatever happened was I hadn't enough money or something. Whatever it was, maybe you need money to get your ticket franked to get out or something like that. I didn't have enough money, and he offered me money. And then I remembered,
nice of him.
It wasn't very nice of him. It was very nice of him. Once again, Coilis Interruptus relates a story about his former life as a real person. We've already had details of a past career manufacturing fire guards, so what other arcane occupations lurk within?
I'm trying to trace a man.
Yes.
Why do you laugh?
You're always looking for a man. Why do you look for a woman sometimes? It sounds better.
I'm
Anyway,
looking for a man. I'm looking for a man with a beard.
Uh-huh.
And this man, and I'll tell you something too about him.
Yes.
He smoked Capstan full-strength cigarettes. Do you remember?
Well, he's probably dead now.
Capstan full-strength
They'd
cigarettes.
kill you quicker than a bullet.
And he smoked between 80 and 100 a day.
Oh, sure, he wouldn't last more than 6 months. Mm-hmm. And who is he? Or where is he?
I worked till him.
Tell him.
I work
With him or for him?
I worked with him in Birmingham.
Yes.
And this man, and the reason I'm trying to find this, I remember his first name, Ian.
Yeah.
And this man was the man, or one of the men, who built the guns of Navarone.
What?
Mm-hmm. You remember the film?
Of course I remember the film.
The Guns of Navarone.
Gregory Peck, David Niven.
Yes.
All the old boys.
They
were a wee bit in their dotage then, but they managed to get through it all right. The big guns of Navarone.
The big guns of Navarone in the film were made out of plaster.
What?
Plaster.
Oh, you mean the guns for the film that they filmed?
The guns for the film were made out of plaster, and this man Ian made them. He was the main, and then I worked at him.
You worked with him?
I worked him.
But did you help him make the guns of Navarone?
No, and he also worked on a film called The Long Boats, and he made the boats. And,
the long boats? Was that
I don't know,
something to do with obviously the Vikings? Who was in that? I wonder.
Long Boats? I think
know. Yeah, Long Boats. Yeah, I think it was a Viking film.
Right.
I think I remember that. Ask that young lady. Who is she? Emma.
Emma,
would you Google the Long Boats?
Right.
I have a feeling that was a Viking film because that's what they called the Viking boats, long boats.
But you see, it's yes, is that right? Yeah, yes.
Who was in it?
Who was in it?
Emma.
Who was in it?
Kirk Douglas.
Richard Widmark.
Richard Widmark.
Yeah.
He used to laugh.
Sidney Poitier.
Sidney Poitier. Yeah. My name is Mr. Tibbs. Mm-hmm. Richard Widmark used to laugh like that.
Well, you see, that spoiled the film, The Guns of Navarone, for me.
Can't you hear me doing impressions here?
All right.
You're like somebody on the phone. No, they don't know to talk over the top here. Anyway, the moment is gone now.
All right.
So he made the Guns of Navarone.
Yeah, and they were made out of plaster. So every time when I was watching the guns and the big boom, and they were firing out this big shell, I said they're only plaster. And spoiled it on me.
You would tell people sit beside you.
Oh, I said, you know,
see them guns there, love.
Only plaster.
Them only plastic. I know about me them.
That's right.
You wouldn't be bothered with that there.
And what else did you do?
Well, you see, I worked with him, and we were working in a nightclub. And the nightclub was called... Well, two nightclubs, actually. One was in Birmingham, and then the other was built in Coventry. And the one in Birmingham was called the Castaway Club. And that was a castaway island, as it were, like a shipwreck. You were walking into a
themed
yes.
nightclub.
And there are palm trees. And I made the palm trees along with him. I was his apprentice.
You made the palm trees?
Made palm trees. And I made bamboo logs out of plaster.
What do you make the palm trees? Are they plastic palm trees?
Plaster.
Plaster palm trees?
You know, like plaster of Paris.
Yes, I know what plaster is.
Yes,
yeah.
But we used these molds, and then you cast all these bamboos, and you painted them, you put shellac on them, and you and then you made them. Carpenters came and could work with them as in wood. And
come on in and sit down and make us a palm tree. Look, I've got some shellac there. Look, there's a bit of plaster. Will you knock us up a bit of an island there? Could you do a bit of an island there with the palm trees on it? And what about a bit of a boat? Could you do a bit of a boat? What about a few guns sticking out of the side of the island?
I made coconuts.
And what about a coconut? Throw us in a coconut there for good measure. Look, there's a bit of shellac. Give us a half a dozen coconuts. I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts. There they are, all standing in a row. Plastic ones, shellac ones as big as your head. Mrs. Brown Rides Again is scheduled to do 6 nights at the Odyssey Arena in Belfast. The presenter marvels at people who might want to go to any of these concerts, but then again, why not? I like Brendan O'Carroll, but I'm just saying, I'm always saying...
And you're an oddball.
And I am an oddball.
You know,
but I can't... I mean... I like Charlie Lansborough.
Yes.
I couldn't sit through 2 hours of that.
You sat through Charlie's concert on last Sunday night, wherever it was, and you thoroughly enjoyed it, you said.
I had to.
What do you mean?
Well, it's, you know, I'm not like other people.
No, I'll tell you why. Because you're hateful.
Well, that's probably the reason. Yeah, that's what I was looking for myself. Sorry, I'm going through these emails
You
here.
really are.
I know I am. I'm sorry.
You won't give anyone a leg up at all.
I give people a leg up all the time. How dare you say that?
Yes.
What is this Friday programme all about?
You lift them and drop them.
I lift them and drop them?
Yeah.
What a horrible thing to
Yeah,
say.
you're a wee user.
I'm not a user.
You are.
I give people the opportunity.
And then you forget about them.
I don't forget about them. What you do is you put people in the public eye. And, you know, if the people like them, it goes on from there. I mean, just because you think someone is talented doesn't mean you have to have them on every week. What you do is you introduce them to the people and then gives them a bit of encouragement, and then other people hear about them, and then the thing goes on a different level.
You wouldn't go to any of their concerts.
Of course I wouldn't.
You see?
But I've always... I'm not a person who goes... I never go to other people's gigs. I never, ever go to other people's gigs.
You should do.
No, I shouldn't. Why?
You should do.
Because you have to sit through that. See, I never like more than one or two songs. See, whenever I buy an LP or a CD or whatever it is, I couldn't sit down and listen to 15 songs. I only...
Not many people can.
Well, they do when they go to a concert. I mean, could you go and see, like, Brian Kennedy or something like that? But we like Brian Kennedy.
I went to see Brian Kennedy about 2 years ago.
See, I couldn't.
And I thoroughly enjoyed the show.
I couldn't.
I sit back and I just watch these guys. I watch them using the stage, and I watch
But I'm
them
not interested in
walking
show
around
business. I'm not interested in show business. I'm only interested in the music. And 15 minutes into it, I'm fed up because they're all going, hey there, funny thing happened to me on the way to the studio. And I'm going, what is this? What am I doing?
But I like that.
I know, but you like all that crap. Coilus Interruptus has had enough. The dam has burst, the volcano has erupted, the cork is out of the bottle. He can't take it any more. I'm delighted. Pardon?
You're stifling me.
I'm not stifling.
Yes, you are.
You've been stifling me for years.
No, you're keeping me down.
No, you're keeping me down.
No, you are not. You won't let me. I want to do a whole lot of things, and you say, catch yourself on your mouth. You go out there and people only laugh at you.
Well, what do you want to do? Go on, do whatever you want.
I don't know.
What do you want to do?
No, you can't now.
Why don't you do an impression?
No, you've sapped all the confidence out of me. I'm like a big hollow bamboo cane sitting in here talking to you. Nothing there. I'm like the Tin Man. That's all I am.
I'm the Cowardly Lion.
Yeah, and you lying in your cabin in your boat, won't come out and talk to people. Go you and talk to them. You say, go you, I can't talk to people. Go you up and talk to them. And then I say, well, I'm talking to the people. Well, talk more to them. Talk more to them. And I do everything, and I try so hard. Then I start to feel inferior, and I lose all my confidence, and I feel like jumping off the ship one night. I was almost suicidal. I had the captain had he talked to me.
Captain Smith. There's a lot of anger.
See,
there's a lot of anger there, Sean.
Nah, but I'm getting angry at you now, old stifler.
Don't call me a stifler.
You're a big muffler, and you're my muffler.
You calling me an exhaust? Are you? Are you?
There's a man on one.
What?
And
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Jerry. I thought you were never going to talk to me.
Stifler here.
You're sitting there, the two arguing a bit out, like two wee children.
I know.
I know.
I'm just a stifler. Thank you for listening. Back tomorrow.